Okay, Priore lab, I want to tell you about healing cancer. What Priore did, this is his little setup he healed all the rats and the lab animals with. Up above this big coil here, there is a rotating plasma fed by 17 frequencies up in the gigahertz band. Rotating plasmas are one thing that do phase conjugation. We know today. They didn't know it in the West in 1965. And so he has a rippling magnetic field, strong magnetic field, which by magnetic resonance will get him into the nucleus of all the atoms, by nuclear magnetic resonance. Why the nucleus? Because he's got to get down where the negative energy stuff and the negative time stuff is and the electrogravity is. That's where the control system of the immune system and the living systems are. Living systems have had to use negative entropy to keep producing the same kind of species pattern. Otherwise, the law of entropy would eat them alive after about 3 generations. You couldn't transmit the pattern anymore. There wouldn't even be species. You have to use negative entropy, and that's why living systems use negative energy, negative time, and scalar waves. He produces then a phase conjugate pattern. He's learned what the right mixture is to give him the anti-pattern for that cancer. It comes right back down through, gets down into the bone cells, everything else, bathes every cell in a little animal, and reverses to cancer. If you de-differentiate, a cancer cell turns back to a normal cell. Now, Robert Becker should have the Nobel Prize for proving how little weak picoamperes of current heal bone. It takes the red blood cell, shucks off the hemoglobin, the thing regrows the genetic nucleus with all the genetics, turns into that kind of cell. That's called de-differentiation, going back to a more primitive cell. That ain't what's needed, so it then crawls around and turns into the kind of cell makes cartilage. That ain't what's needed, so then it crawls around and changes into the kind of cell that makes bone and heals these horrible bone fractures. And he proved that in vitro with frogs after he'd healed bone, terrible bone fractures. Should have a Nobel Prize. Nobody had the foggiest notion it was the red blood cells responding to picoamperes of current. Tiny currents, so small you can't hardly measure them. Can you not do picoamperes with this thing in the body? Of course you can. Can you not drive cells through that whole structure? Of course you can. You can do electromagnetic healing of any kind of cellular disease known to man. You don't have to understand the cause. You just got to capture the delta and time reverse it and do that to the body and you'll cure it.